And the big left hand from Whyte, and Chisora is straight to canvas.
Gets him with the left hook. And that surely is the end of that. Brown has not moved. And again, and he wobbles again. Little left hand gets him on the floor.
No worries, man. Respect.
Who's kind of next on? I know you don't want to look past this fight. Who's kind of next on your hit list? After?
Right now, I don't know, man. Everyone's on the hit list. All the top 5 guys on my hit list. You know, top 5 guys on my hit list. But Jermaine Franklin's an undefeated guy. He says he's the hood warrior and the 898 assassin, whatever the hell that means. So, yeah, I'm not looking past the 898 assassin, or whatever he says he is.
What do you know about Franklin? Because yourself, you're a big profile boxer, particularly in the UK. To UK fans, everyone knows who you are, right? You've been in some huge fights. You've been around the game. What do you know about?
You know, he's undefeated. He's been through ups and downs in his career and had a lot of tough times and stuff and whatever. He said he's had his children and he had to give up boxing to go work. So that says a lot about him. Obviously, he's going to be tough. He's going to be driven, dedicated, and he's going to try his hardest to change their life and to change his life and to try and step up to the plate and do his thing. But, you know, there is a level to this thing and he'll understand on November 26th.
And you talked about a little bit in there about, someone asked you if you had four fights left in your career, who would they be? And you named the top guys.
Yeah, I definitely want to fight everyone in the top 5, man. You know,
you're sort of at a stage of your career where you've been in some huge fights.
Yes.
Your profile's high already, particularly in the UK. Like, for yourself, is that your kind of game plan now to get in the biggest after this fight? So,
I want one of the biggest fights there is in my era. I want to fight everyone there is for me to fight in my era, and there's only 4 or 5 guys left for me to fight. You know what I mean? If I can have those 4 or 5 fights, I'm happy to have them and run off into the night.
And it's been talked about obviously a lot recently because of Eddie talking about it. AJ's mentioned your name. Like, did you
AJ's always mentioning my name. This guy mentions my name all the time, and every time there's opportunity to make the fight happen, it never happened because AJ starts being silly, or they trying to use me as some scapegoat to make up a fight happen, and then I end up with the end of the stick. And people know me. I'm always ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. I don't turn fights down. That's why I'm fighting Jermaine Franklin and not some guy with a losing record and some small card in Mexico or whatever to come back, which I could easily do.
And if it goes well against Franklin end of the month, do you want another shot at AJ?
I want another shot at AJ and another shot at Fury, and I would love to fight Usyk and Wilder and Andy Ruiz.
And if you did have a fight with AJ, obviously you fought a long time ago. You guys got a lot of history. There's a little bit of, whether it's chat, whether it's real, who knows, right? Only you and AJ really know. How do you see that fight going? Because it's a long time. Both of you developed.
It's going to
as
be
boxers.
a war, man. Me and him fight. There won't be much skill in it. It'll just be a war. It'll be an all-out war. I would love to fight AJ another 2-3 times before we hang the gloves up. I would love it. I'd love to have a trilogy with him. I would love it. I would love to have multiple fights with him, and I would really relish that.
And it would be a fight that I think would capture the public's imagination, right? Not just boxing fans, but casuals, right? Because of your characters.
And then there's gonna be a war. We've had 2 fights already, and those both wars. They're both slugfests. Obviously, it's a fight where they'll be running. There'll be 2 guys having it out. It'd be good.
There are also some big fights around the heavyweight division. You yourself and AJ. Fury's fighting Chisora. What would be your kind of prediction for Fury and Chisora?
I think Fury's gonna win, but I think everyone in Britain would love to see Chisora win because he's a folk hero. The guy, you have to respect Derek Chisora. You have to respect him because the dedication he showed to the game, the graphics put in, come back from 12-13 defeat, to being a top. People say he should retire 7 years ago, 10 years ago, and he's still here. You have to respect him. He's a tough man and he's got a lot of heart and a lot of desire. So whether you want to respect him or not, you have to respect him.
What about Wilder Ruiz? It looks like that's being ordered. How do you see that fight?
No one really cares about that fight, to be honest. It's one of those fights where it's actually a good boxing fight, but sad fact of no one cares about that. If Wilder's not fighting one of the big British stars, no one cares because he's not a draw. He's not a draw. Ruiz is the same. No one really cares. unless they're fighting me or Fury or Joshua. No one really cares. Do you want to see Wilder versus Ruiz? You got any? Are you gonna stay up till 5 in the morning to watch that? You know, no one cares.
Yeah, you're right, and you've obviously been around the British heavyweight scene a long time and title fights and stuff. It must be exciting now because you've got yourself, Fury, AJ, all at the top, top of the game, right?
Britain's got 3 of the top 5 heavyweight in the world. Top 5, top 6, Britain's got 3 of them. It's been a long time since Britain's had one top guy, much as 3 at once. It's very exciting, you know.
And if you had to kind of name like a top 3 in any order of heavyweights in the world right now, what would you do?
I'm a realist. I would say Fury, probably Ruiz, excluding me, probably Fury, Ruiz, and Wilder, because they're coming up. They're the ones that's coming off wins. You know, me and Joshua, we're coming off losses at the minute, but we're still, from 4 and 5.
And do you think that's part of the story, part of why the public really gets behind yourself, because you're not afraid to take fights? You see people worried about protecting the O and ducking fights, whether that's true or not, who knows? Like, the public seems to kind of warm to you because you're a pretty regular guy, right? You're not.
I just want to fight, man. I'm a realist. Just then you asked me to name the top 5. I could have said, I'm number 1 or whatever, but you got to be real. Deep down, I believe I'm number 1 and I can be number 1, but you got to be real. Facts are facts, and that's what I just try and be. I just try and be as real as I can be, man, and as honest as I can be.
And looking ahead to your fight in a couple of weeks, how do you see it going? Like, if you had to give a prediction for the fans now.
When I come to the ring, man, it's always one mindset, one attitude is maximum violence, and I'm not one that's trying to go and win fight and points. I try and knock people out as long as it goes. I'll be throwing bombs, as long as I can. I'm going to try and knock Jermaine Franklin out. He said he's going to knock me out. Hopefully, he comes to do that. I hope the 898 assassin comes to do that, or 98, whatever the fuck it is.
And say you beat Franklin, then you go on, let's say, theoretically.
When I beat Franklin?
Yes. Let's say when you beat Franklin, then you get to fight AJ. Say you beat AJ. What's your post, like, say you've had a massive fight against AJ in the stadium, let's say you've won the fight, you're right at the top of the game then.
I'll be screaming straight Tyson Fury rematch.
Oh, and the big left hand from Whyte, and Chisora is straight to canvas.
Gets him with the left hook. And that surely is the end of that. Brown has not moved. And again, and he wobbles again. Little